All right, so yesterday we built the BloodHound signals for this inside bar, system here. So the way the signals, the way this system works, right, is a signal is generated in real time the following day, right, the day after the inside bar. Once price gets up and either reaches the upper limit of the inside day or the lower limit or the lower price of the inside day, and then BloodHound will generate a signal in real time. So that means that BlackBird will be submitting a market order, right, as soon as that so as soon as BloodHound generates that signal there. So we'll set that up. And also in BlackBird, we do need to set up a restriction to only one trade per day, right? So for example, this second inside bar here, right? We can see that the market actually looked like it probably moved up for a buy signal and then ultimately closed down for a sell signal. But what's wanted is only one signal per day. So whichever signal occurs first, is the only signal taken, right? So we're going to use BlackBird to limit the number of trades per day. So BloodHound will generate a buy signal and a short signal, right, on the day after. However, we're going to set BlackBird up so that it's limited to only one trade per day. So that way, like on this day here, for example, when the market moved up, a buy signal was generated from BloodHound, and BlackBird would execute the buy signal. But then when the market moves down, right, and the short signal is generated, because BlackBird already took its one trade per day, then BlackBird would ignore the short signal, right? So we're gonna, so this limitation here is gonna be created in BlackBird. And then also we just have a simple profit target and stop loss. And we're gonna set up the contract sizing based on a 2% risk per trade there. Right. So pretty straightforward there. So with that, let's get started. Oh, well, okay, so first let me reiterate, right, that this signal is generated in real time here, right? So what that means, obviously an inside bar, well, I guess, first let me re-explain here for the BlackBird portion that if you submit a buy signal and a sell signal to BlackBird or Raven, nothing will happen, right? So BlackBird and Raven can only trade in one direction at a time. So if you submit a buy and a sell, obviously the software has no idea what direction to trade. And NinjaTrader strategies can only trade in one direction at a time. So you can't buy and you can't sell at the same time. So when BlackBird or Raven receives a buy and a sell signal like we see here in this screenshot, those signals are just ignored, because the strategy doesn't know what direction you actually want to trade. So so buy and sell signals together are just ignored. So you can't actually submit something like this, right, to BlackBird. But again, this screenshot here was really just to illustrate an inside bar, to help explain what the question was. So so to get BlackBird to read a signal in real time from BloodHound, we have to make an adjustment to the calculate settings. All right, so I'm going to go into the strategies window here, and so if we expand the setup section here, right, and we need to adjust the calculate setting here. So right now it's set to on bar close, right? So obviously the way the way this is set up here, right? So on the bar, that where the trade occurs, we don't want to wait for that bar to close, right? We want to jump into the trade as soon as that day's price, breaks out to the upside or breaks out to the downside. So we need to adjust this calculate setting here. So what I'm going to have to do is disable the strategy, and then I can go into the calculate setting and adjust this to either on each tick or on price change, right? Make one of those adjustments and call it good there. All right, and then hit apply. All right, so now that we have the calculate set so that BlackBird can read BloodHound signals in real time, now we can actually get to work and setting this up. So, all right, so the first thing is let's load in the BloodHound signals here. And that will be yesterday's workshop file here. So in the template file section here, I'm going to use the ellipses button here, right? So it's the 3 dots. And we can see that will open up the open dialog window here. And let's see, let me sort by date. Click on that one more time. There we go. And there is yesterday's BloodHound workshop file. Let's load that in. And then next, let's select the signals, right? The logic template for the signals. And we actually have, we built 2 of them yesterday. So we kind of did a modification of this system. So we have one logic template that's designed to work on a daily bar chart, per that screenshot. And then we made a modification here so that you could actually trade this using an intraday chart, right? So you could, run BlackBird on, say, like a 1-minute chart or a 5-minute chart or something like that on an intraday, and then, and then trade the system that way. So, well, yeah, I'm going to set this up using the daily bar chart. Yeah, using the daily chart. So we'll use those signals first here. And that's it, right? So there you go. So it's that simple to load in your BloodHound signals. So we're all done there. And then next, we'll set up the orders here. So, because this is a signal in real time, that would be a market entry order. And then the profit target and stop loss is just a simple 30 ticks there. Right, so for the profit target, we'll use the 10 tick one from the quick list here. Right, so there we go. So that sets up a 10 tick profit target. And then we can go into the initial placement here and then modify it, adjust it to a 30 tick profit target. There we go, just like so. All right, so now we have a 30 tick profit target, and then we'll do the same thing for the stop loss. We'll just use the 10 tick one here to get us started, and then open up the stop loss, open up the initial placement menu, and then we can adjust that down to 30 ticks. And there we go. All right, so that was it for the orders. Pretty simple. So now let's put in these other adjustments here. So remember, we want to make sure that we only take 1 trade per day. So to do that, we're going to go into the money management section here. And you can see there's an option here of max number of trades, right? So these are daily limitations here, right? You notice the title or the section says daily safeguards here. So this would be max number of days of trades per day. And we'll knock that down to 1. There, right? So with max number of trades set to 1, then what that means is, right, this is how we prevent you know, on days where it's an engulfing bar right after the inside bar, right? This engulfing bar, you know, which would generate two signals, right? It's going to generate a buy signal and then also generate a short signal, right? But now BlackBird is restricted to only taking one trade per day. So whichever, so if it's the long signal first, right, then BlackBird would ignore the short signal afterwards, the secondary signal. So that's how we address those engulfing bar days. And then next, we want to set up the risk per trade here. So again, in the money management here, we can enable the risk per trade there. And so what this does, right, is it adjusts the number of contracts automatically based on the maximum amount of risk you want to take in any one trade, right? So in order for the risk per trade to function on a percentage basis, you do need to enter in your account size. So currently, yeah, BlackBird isn't automatically reading the actual account size. So, you know, so we'll just manually put something in there for now, right? So we'll just put in 10K for now, right? However, if you use the fixed amount, right? So you can go in there and just say, okay, I want to risk a maximum of $500 per trade, you know, then the account size is not necessary because you've already calculated exactly what your maximum risk is. So the account size is only necessary when your risk per trade is based on the account size, right? When it's a percentage of the account. All right, and that's it. So yeah, we have everything all set up now for BlackBird. That's all we had to do. That was it. So the BlackBird portion of it was pretty simple, pretty straightforward there, and that's it. So now you just click OK, and you just wait for the signal to happen. Let's see here. Let's reload the chart. So you'll notice down here these messages in the blue box, right? These messages in blue are coming from BlackBird. And so this is just telling us that BlackBird needs to be reloaded so that BlackBird can load in the BloodHound indicator, right? So that's one thing that NinjaTrader definitely cannot do, is it cannot load in an indicator automatically. So you do have to reload your chart to get that to happen. All right. And let's see, I don't think we're going to see any signals today. Let's see, what am I on? I'm on the ES. All right, let's switch over to the ES. And then let's also switch to a daily chart. Here we go. And let's see, yesterday was an engulfing day. Now, yeah, so there's not going to be any signals today. So, all right. Yeah. All right, so that's it. Oh, and one last thing, obviously, you know, remember to turn on the auto trading button there, and that's it. So, oh, and one other thing, I am on a 1 minute chart. I'm on an intraday chart. So, yeah, let's remember here, or let me point out again that in BlackBird, right, I'm using the inside bar signal that's designed to only generate a signal on a daily chart. So yeah, so if I left BlackBird running on this 1 minute chart, actually no signals would occur. So I would need to switch this chart over to a daily chart like so. There we go. And now now BloodHound would actually generate signals correctly now. So actually, there's switch over the signals. So there we have it. All right. So now, because yeah, just one quick note here. You'll notice that, right? We're not seeing any signals, and again, that's because the way this system works here is it waits for the market to break out, break out side of the inside bar to generate a signal in real time. So that means that you're not going to get historical signals. Yeah, this is only, so the way this system works, you can only back test it using the replay connection. So you have to simulate live trading in order to back test this. So, all right. And so secondly, let's just cover any adjustments needed if we wanted to trade these signals using an intraday chart here. So let's say I wanted to, trade using the intraday chart. There's no pros or cons, no benefits or hindrances, that I can think of trading either on the daily chart or on a intraday chart. I don't think there's any benefits of trading one over the other that I can think of, but just, but if, you wanted to run BlackBird on a minute chart, then just make sure that you select the intraday signal there, right? Like so, and then we can switch the chart back over, to a minute chart, like so. So again, whether you're running BlackBird on a minute chart or the daily chart, again, because the signals occur in real time, it's not going to matter. Actually, you could run BlackBird. I think in theory, you could run BlackBird on any chart type. Yeah, it's not going to matter at all, really. So, all right. So I think that does it. Yeah, I think that's the only thing worth noting there. All right. Yeah, you're welcome, Freddie. So this question was emailed in from Freddie.